All right, so I'm here with an M3 CS owner. So what's your name?
My name's Evan.
Evan, nice to meet you.
Nice to
So
meet you as well.
how long you been a member of the car club?
Uh, 23 years.
Okay, so a long time.
Yeah.
So obviously this probably isn't your first BMW.
Nope, it's
So
not.
how many have you had?
Total?
Yeah, can you remember?
This is my seventh M3,
Seventh M3.
and total it would be probably close to 16, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had everything from 2002s up through E28s. I had a beautiful 535 IS. Then I've had E30s. I've had a couple of E30 M3s, a couple of E36s.
Let me put you. So you've had a bunch of BMWs.
Bunch of them.
So what brought you to this beauty that's sitting right behind us, which is the M3 CS?
It is. It was marketed really poorly.
I agree.
Very few people knew that. Still to this day, that it actually exists. I knew that it was coming out. It was kind of the last F80, and I wanted to have something that was going to kind of commemorate one of the most popular M3s that BMW has produced.
Absolutely.
They've produced more F80 M3s than they've produced all other M3s combined.
Yeah, I think it was like 3 times as many as the E9X platform.
It was. That was a combination of bad economy, and
yes.
There was a lot of. They got into a big storm, I think, with the F8. It was great, or with that car. It was a great car, though. But anyway, it was the final hurrah for the F80. I knew that it was out. I really wanted it, and what better color to get than frozen blue metallic too?
It looks fantastic. So maybe we walk around the car and sort of see what. Let's start with the front and see what's special away from the F80.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things with. The color itself, they imported 78 frozen blue metallic into the United States.
Wow. Okay.
And this is one of them. So a couple of the differences from the standard F80 is starting at the front, you've got this carbon fiber front air dam.
Yep.
It is low. It is low. Scoops directly into the brakes over there.
Oh yeah, right there.
And it actually sits a little lower underneath, which is not fun.
Yeah, because obviously it's like not even basically a hand.
No, it's awful. Yeah, it's awful. And coming up, of course, you get Shadowline trim as standard, which are going to be the black kidney grills and the black surround.
Yep.
And then for the engine's mechanically the same as standard F80. They did include a magnesium oil pan. Supposedly that pan itself does carry an extra ½ liter of oil than the standard M3. Still up for debate, but there's one reference book that BMW has that says that it does hold it. There's another one that says that the capacity is the same.
Interesting.
But there are people that have been putting oil in and they say it's somewhere in between.
Right, and it's slightly more power than the competition package. Maybe about 10 to 15 horsepower more.
It is. It's actually 9.
Oh, 9. Okay.
It's only 9, but they changed the power band, so it has less torque low end, so it's not as skittish and is kind of wild on the low end. Yeah. But the horsepower builds and then peaks a little earlier, and the torque is a little higher as well. So it has just a slightly higher power band. When you compare it to power maximum within the band, it's actually 35 horsepower. So at midpoint, it produces mid to high RPM. It produces 35 more horsepower than the standard F80. But overall, it's only 9 horsepower.
Nice. So this is also the carbon fiber. Is it carbon fiber?
It is. Yeah.
So basically the GTS hood.
It is.
Right. So you can see the scoop here.
It's a carbon fiber composite with a very large weave, and they managed to put an M in there.
I don't know if it does come out on the video. That's a nice touch here.
It is. It's really nice, and it produces extra downforce in the front.
Yeah, you see here
over the standard car. I think overall, if I'm right, the car produces 220 pounds extra downforce than the standard F80. In combination with the front air dam, the hood, and then the gurney flap and back.
Yeah, we'll get to that too. So why don't we go around the side? So I think one thing that I was sort of disappointed in is that it just says M3 instead of M3 CS.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't you spend a little extra money and put that little special touch on it?
You know, well, it's lightweight, and you know,
they save the lettering.
Yeah, save the lettering, and we could go into that as we look inside. Yeah. But this car has standard brakes. There was an option for ceramic,
right?
But I plan on kind of taking it to the track, and
that's not a good option, I don't think. If you're going to really track the car, because obviously you're going to have to replace the brakes at some point. And it's really expensive.
This is all true. Yeah. And then these are the 763 M wheels. The difference between these wheels and the M Performance parts wheels, these are an Orbit Gray. So yes. The only way to get Orbit Gray is from a CS. The M parts wheels are gloss black or
the gold.
The gold. Right? Yeah, and then those are also engraved with M Performance.
This is not
engraved.
Right, because you save some little weight, I guess, right?
Yeah, and you're hoping that you know that it's a performance car.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then coming on to the interior, so this car, all the CSs are lightweight, supposedly, by 110 pounds.
Right,
and they did that in a combination of removing the standard dual climate control system.
Yeah,
so we've got the rotary knobs from what's essentially the European 320 diesel. No rear vents. But Alcantara and no armrest.
You can see that there. We got the CS badging on the dash as well.
We've got the CS badging there. We've got the CS badging on the door sills.
Oh, yep. So we can twist down here and take a look at that. There you go.
And then the suspension is also a little different. What they did was they revised electronically the EDC, so the shocks electronically are stiffer.
Right.
But they went with base M3 springs front and rear. So they felt that the competition pack springs were just a little too stiff. So what they wound up doing is they put on base springs front and rear, a non-competition front sway bar, and a competition rear bar.
Right. So awesome. So can we open the back too?
Yeah.
See about the obviously what he was talking about was the rear vents are completely gone. So you just got like an Alcantara thing there, and that's it. So it's almost the same as the competition package interior, but for the delete of the center console and a couple of the air conditioning.
Correct.
But unlike the M4 CS, it actually has door handles
rather than
straps.
It does. So it's got a lot of creature comforts. This particular car's option with the executive package, so you're going to get the rear sunshades, the xenon headlights in front, or the adaptive LEDs in front, as opposed to just base xenon.
Okay, that's interesting. I figured they would have gone to LED.
Yeah, so standard for a $100,000 car does not come with LEDs. You had to check a box for it.
Which is crazy.
And the biggest pet peeve that everyone has is that there's no comfort access, no keyless entry. So if you want to lock the car, you've got to manually do it.
You got to manually do it.
And you got to unlock it and manually do it in. Nothing here.
Obviously for weight savings, of course, right?
Right.
Go fast juice. All right, so we can walk our way back around.
Yeah, another thing with the wheels is that it comes with the same wheel setup as the 2016 M4 GTS.
Right, so different size wheels front and back. So is it 20 in the front and 19? Oh, excuse me, 20 in the rear, 19 in the front.
Exactly, yeah. So we've got 20s in the rear, 19 in front.
Awesome.
In the States, they come with the Super Sports. So those are going to be 255, 35, 19 in the front, and a 285, 20, 19, 20, 285, 30, 20 in the back.
Right.
Rest of the world in the EU, they come with cup tires.
Yeah, the Sport Cup 2 tires.
They do.
I think it's probably a big complaint for the U.S. car, because I think the M4 CS comes with the Cup 2s.
They do.
Which is really strange, right?
Well, it's, the lawyers got involved is the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, damn lawyers.
Yeah, and then coming to the back of the car, it's got this great carbon fiber gurney flap.
I don't know if it comes out on the thing here, but it starts off in a nice little dip here in the carbon fiber spoiler.
And then
I think it looks fantastic.
The exhausts are single-walled exhaust tips, and also that carbon fiber rear diffuser.
Yep,
now,
standard on it.
The exhaust can is the same exterior as the competition.
Right.
There's been debates whether or not the interior baffling is different. It does have a different sound than the competition.
It does.
It sounds somewhere between the competition and the M Performance exhaust or a GTS, but that's also attributed to the tuning. So the software tune can actually give you burbles and the pops and sounds. This car's got a little bit more pops and sounds, so more of that's to the tuning than anything else.
All right, so are you planning to do anything with this car or leave it as is?
I think it's perfect.
Okay. What about taking it to any events? Are you going to brave it on the track?
Yeah, I've got the next event coming up is going to be the end of March down at Buttonwillow.
Right. Okay, so are you going to go with the San Diego and Central Cal? Okay, so I'll see you there too. So hopefully we can get some video of this car on the track and get some sound out of it because it's an awesome car.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Really happy that I got a chance to get one of these. I think they're going to be looked back upon favorably as kind of, there's nothing wrong with the new G20 coming out. I think it looks great, but every iteration of the M3 gets a little bit bigger, a little bit more bloated, a little bit less removed from the iconic E30. So this being, I think, a special car, I think it's hopefully it's going to have a great place in history.
I think it will. And if you're still looking for one of these, basically all the dealers in the Bay Area have at least 2 of them still on the lot.
Yes.
Which is crazy, because I remember when it first came out, they're like, oh, we're going to ship 500 to the States. And obviously that's a little bit wrong, because I think there's more than 500.
According to final production, there's about 550.
Okay.
There are some of the dealers. So what happened was BMW just shipped all the cars at once, pretty much.
Wow.
So they were produced between June and October for the U.S. The other cars, the rest of the world, and the European cars were produced
before that, I think.
Up until June.
Right.
And then they had their emissions issue.
And that's what changed it.
And so BMW then said, okay, we're going to stop European production. We're going to make every single M3 we can from June to October be U.S. cars. So they essentially flooded the market, unfortunately, with these cars. Bad marketing. Nobody knew about them. High MSRP was kind of just, again, bad business on BMW's part. But there are some at the dealer, and funny enough, there are actually a few still at the port that are not allocated. That are brand new, just sitting in the corner of Hueneme.
Right. Yeah. So if you're out in the market for an F80 and you want something iconic, they're still available.
There are. You get choice of colors.
Yeah, choice of
5.
colors.
You've got San Marino blue, which is gorgeous. This frozen blue metallic too, which is I think equally as stunning. I'm a big blue BMW fan. You've got Alpine white, which is classic BMW.
Yep.
Black sapphire, which is also quickly becoming a classic BMW color. And
what's the 5th one?
Then you have the specific for the M3 CS, which is lime rock gray.
Oh, right. I don't think I've seen that one in person yet, but I think from the pictures it looks really good.
They do look really good. It's not as close to Nardo because there were some comparisons.
Yes.
It's a heavier metallic in the sunlight. Pictures like black sapphire just don't do it justice.
Right. Awesome. Well, thanks for showing us around your car.
Thanks
and we'll see you at some other events shortly. All right. Thanks.